Sweet people, here is part 2 of Rhys's journey through drugs. If you haven't seen part 1, check it out. There's a link in the description, or I'll put it as a card above. So we left off with Rhys sharing how he started smoking weed and he moved on to harder drugs, and how it affected his mental health, but also his relationships with his family and his friends. And at the time, it was also really hard for me to watch my best friend go down a road that left him with mental illness, like depression, but also left him really lost and broken. I realised that a lot of young people get adults telling them that they shouldn't be doing drugs, and I stand by that 100%, which is why by these videos we wanted to show you that there's a better way to fill the gap and the void that you're trying to fill. Rhys's life was severely impacted by taking drugs, starting off from taking low-class drugs such as weed to then having to take harder drugs just to get the same hit. But all that changed when Rhys realised that the drugs were not making him happy, and they were bringing him down, and the void he was trying to fill was starting to spiral out of control, and that's when Rhys realised he needed to change his path.
So what saved you from it? What brought you out of this?
Well, it was basically, like I said, I was really depressed. I was in a really low place. And then it was really when I started hanging out with you again, mate. Thank you.
Aww,
friends.
Friends. We're friends.
No, yeah, but seriously, me and you started hanging out again, and you were going through some, pretty hectic stuff, and I was going through some rough stuff, and yeah, we decided to go on that surf trip down to Hossegor, down in southwest France. So we just thought, sack it, let's just get in a car, drive down to France, and we were living in a church. This guy was running a church out of this apartment, and we were literally living there, and that was when the light started to flicker back on sort of in my heart, and I started to realise and see that there was a different lifestyle and a different path to follow. So that was the time when everything changed.
Nice. So from all your experience, Rhys, what would be the main piece of advice you'd give to any person, especially young people who want to go down this route?
Look, I heard all these different things and different opinions from people about how drugs affect you and all of this kind of stuff. But the thing that really hit home to me is, now, why do you take drugs? You take drugs, right? I'm not talking like smoke weed or take cocaine or anything, but you take just drugs.
I'll have a cheeky paracetamol.
Yeah. So why do you take that?
I have a headache.
Yeah. So we take drugs to medicate something. So you take paracetamol because you've got a headache. So it's trying to fix something. Why do we need to take drugs? Why do I need to smoke weed or take a pill or do a line of coke or whatever it might be in order to have a good time? Why do we need to medicate having a good time?
That's it, man.
And that's what really struck it for me. That's what made me realise, how sad is that? Can I really not be happy? Can I really not have a good time at the weekend with my mates without taking some sort of chemical?
It's really good. So that's Rhys's story really quickly. He started off smoking weed, then taking pills and other drugs, which just gave him a quick fix, but left him with lasting impact on his life and his mental health and his physical health and his relationships around him. Rhys spoke about how he came to the realisation that there's a different path to follow and how it was so sad that he was medicating, having a good time. But now Rhys has found a way to have a good time without taking drugs, and his life is completely changed. Jesus says in John 10:10 that he came to give us life and life to the full. Like Rhys has already shared, people often turn to drugs to fill a gap in their life or escape from a situation. It could be missing adventure or anxiety or depression or even just boredom. And we all want to be happy, but drugs only give us a momentary happiness. The true fullness that you're looking for can only be found in Jesus. Psalm 16:11 says this: "You will make known to me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. In your right hand there are pleasures forever." You see, taking drugs will lead you on a path of momentary, meaningless pleasure, emptiness, false happiness, and self-destruction. But God has a way of hitting the same need for fun or escape from your situation that will bring you adventure, wholeness, healing from your situations, and true happiness for eternity. So if you're watching this and you take drugs, or you're battling with the pressure from people around you to take drugs, my challenge to you is this: to find the way to have fun, to fill every need you have without taking drugs to do that. And as you can see from Rhys's life, my life, and many others' lives around you, the answer to that is Jesus. And this could start with a prayer, asking God to show you who He is, to come and heal you from the things of the past, to come and fill the void that you're trying to fill with drugs, to fill you with joy and eternal happiness. Jesus said He wants to give you life and life to the full. Don't settle for anything less today. Perhaps find a local church where you can find someone who can help you on this journey of finding out who God is, how He can help you in your situation. And in the process, you will discover more of who you are. And I'd also advise you to chat with an adult, maybe your GP or a teacher in school, an adult that you can trust. And lastly, for those who'd like advice and support in this area of drugs and the effects of them, check the link in the description for confidential online support right now. Guys, I hope these last 2 videos have blessed you. If they have, consider subscribing, hit the like button, and perhaps share this with your friends. They might need to hear some of this stuff as well. And guys, if you want to check out more of what Rhys is doing, I'm popping links in the description to his Facebook and Instagram. Bless you guys, and have a good one.